What's up, guys? In this video, I wanted to talk to you and share my experience about working out while injured and how to work around the injuries. So over the years, I've suffered a few different injuries, mainly a severe back one that I was told I'd never be able to overcome without surgery, and I've since proven otherwise. I've also suffered a shoulder injury. I tore my pec, and I have some elbow issues on my left arm. So initially, with the most severe of the injuries, the back one, I was told that I should discontinue all training. And I did so for a period of over 2 years, which led me to losing all my results, my physique, my motivation. Psychologically, I was down, and it didn't do anything to improve the actual pain either. So after that period, I decided to take it upon myself to try to work around the injury rather than allow it to just dominate my life and put a complete halt to what I want to do. So I began by I first removed all weights. So that's the first thing I would tell you to do with regard to the injuries is start from body weight, calisthenic, or very lightweight, and then work your way up. So no matter where you are today, when you have an injury that you have to deal with, my advice is to reset and start from zero as far as resistance. Well, not zero, your own body weight, and work your way all the way back up as you're able to. Because actual heavy weight is the worst thing for an injured person. No matter what your injury is, even if it's a movement that's not directly related to it, you could still further aggravate it because of the actual weight, the workload. So lightweight is key, and basically just think outside the box. You have to be creative, and you have to understand that you're not limited in any way to traditional exercises that you see people doing. It's not the case. For example, with my elbow injury now, there are certain movements that I can and cannot do without pain. Standard curls, wide grip curls, close grip curls, preacher curls. There's so many variations of that one arm movement when I'm targeting the bicep, and the tricep the same. With the rope pull downs, people traditionally go like this and go, try to open out. You can do them wide like this. You can do them close like this. The same as with the curls. The variations are basically limitless. There are so many different ways you can work around that point of pain. With shoulders as well. I don't do any shoulder pressing. I typically use very light weights with shoulder exercises, like 10 pounds probably, and that's it. Sometimes a little bit heavier. And I can do side laterals. I can't go all the way up, so I do the partial movement as best I can until I reach that threshold of pain, and then I stop. So I work around it. I don't let it stop me completely. With regard to my back, I haven't put any weighted training at all for my legs in many years. I don't do any weights at all. So it's mainly body weight. Sometimes I do some resistance with calf training, but mostly not. Body weight squats, I do a variation of the movement as well. Certain foot positioning will alleviate some of the pain and remove some of it. Others will aggravate it further. So I'm conscious of those things, and the only way for you to know what will and won't work for you is, as I did, through trial and error and experimentation. You got to try different movements. Don't limit yourselves. And the last thing I'll touch on with regard to this is that, in my experience, it comes mainly down to mindset and what you believe. What your belief is what's going to actually manifest. So if you believe that the injury will prevent you from working out and that you cannot work out, you believe what the doctors say, then that's going to be the case for you. In my own experience, I decided that, fuck the pain and fuck what my body is telling me. I'm not going to allow it to prevent me from doing what I have to do, and I'm going to mentally overcome the physical pain. And it may sound crazy to some of you. It's not that I don't feel the pain. I acknowledge it, I feel it, I work around it, I try to avoid it, but at the end of the day, it's just an internal war that was waged, where fuck you to the pain, and I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do, not what you dictate to me. So again, it may sound crazy, it may sound funny, but that's one of the ways that I overcame in my own experience. So work carefully. Don't further injure it. If you do feel pain, just back off a little bit. Make an adjustment in exercise or in workload, in frequency, whatever it is. But continue to train, because the more time you allow to pass where you're just completely inactive and not doing anything, the harder it's going to then become to get back to where you want to be and where you may be right now. It's very, very difficult. The most difficult thing in a workout regimen is those first couple weeks. It's very, very difficult. The same goes for diet. Very difficult. But once you become accustomed to it, it becomes easier as time passes. And so I would encourage you guys to try different exercises, think creatively, don't limit yourselves, and be mindful of what you believe about yourself, about the injury, and about your own capabilities. And I hope this video helps. Thanks.